instructions for Vasudeva and the return of the 6 dead sons of Devakī by Lord Krishna. So this is going to be an interesting chapter. It is a very custom that the junior members of the family should offer respects to the elders every morning. The children or disciples especially should offer their respects to their parents or spiritual master in the morning. In pursuance of this Vedic principle, Lord Krishna and Balaram used to offer their obeisances to their parents, Vasudeva and Devakī. So here you have God himself. He was bowing down to his parents. Just to show the example for all of us. But he said that even in the spiritual world, he is doing that every morning. One day, after having returned from the sacrificial performances at Kurukshetra, when Lord Balaram and Krishna went to offer their respects to Vasudeva, Vasudeva took the opportunity to appreciate the exalted position of his 2 sons. Vasudeva had the opportunity to understand the position of Krishna and Balaram from the great sages who had assembled in the arena of the sacrifice. You remember yesterday I mentioned a whole lot of sages. Not only did he hear from this... Oh, you weren't there. But
it sounded very interesting.
Yeah, I can recommend to take a listen to that chapter from yesterday, because there is some far out stories of these sages. Okay, so not only did he hear from the sages, but on many occasions he actually experienced that Krishna and Balaram were not ordinary human beings, but were very extraordinary. Thus he believed the words of the sages that his sons, Krishna and Balaram, were the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So isn't that kind of a funny way of saying you have 2 people and now they are the Supreme Personality? The 2 became 1 person, right?
Yes.
With firm faith in his sons, he addressed them thus. Okay, I'll try and mimic Vasudeva's voice. He's a very pious person. My dear Krishna, you are the Satchit Ananda Vigraha, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And my dear Balaram, you are Sankarshan, the master of all mystic powers. Therefore, I have now understood that you are eternal. Both of you are transcendental to this material manifestation and to its cause, the Supreme Person, Mahavishnu. You are the original controller of all. You are the resting place of this cosmic manifestation. What's the meaning of that?
Like the world itself?
Yeah.
Manifestation of the cosmic manifestation?
Yeah.
So he is praising... is he praising Krishna?
Yeah, he do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You are its creator, and you are also its creative ingredients. You are the master of this cosmic manifestation, and actually this manifestation is created for your pastimes only. So this whole world is just
so
made
it's
for...
more like his golf course.
Well, well, there is a difference, with Krishna's pastimes than merely, golf, and that is that he's making people happy by his pastimes, other people. He's including a lot of people in his pastimes. He even said they're expounding. So you not only have like a couple of people, say for example he's marrying 16,108 queens, yeah? So he's including a lot of people in his pastimes.
Yes.
So I'll just scroll down a bit. Now he talks about something interesting, the vital force. That's also called the prana or air of life, which we are breathing.
Yes.
The vital force, the life principle in everything, the creative force derived from it, are not acting independently, but are dependent upon you, the Supreme Person behind these forces. So I just want to dwell on this. He says, the life principle in everything and the creative force derived from it. So we are becoming creative using that prana. That's the idea. So it's also called Shakti. So in another sense, it's called the Kundalini. You heard about Kundalini? A little bit?
Isn't that the life force?
Yeah. It's another way of saying, and it's actually feminine. And it's lying as a coiled snake in the in the lowest chakra in our body is called the Muladhara chakra. And from there it goes up and up and up to each higher chakras. And from there we also get our creative energy, and the creative energy, or active energy actually, is called the Kriya Shakti. For example, now we're talking and we're trying to do this YouTube thing, so now we're using Kriya Shakti. So that's actually a life force. When we are dealing with stuff.
Creative?
What?
Creative life force?
Yes. And then when we are dealing with stuff which are already manifested, for example, say I have a book, or I have a tennis racket, it's just kind of not moving, it's already created, so that's more dull, so that's called the Dravya Shakti. So that's actually in the mode of ignorance. And then in the mode of goodness, that's the Jnana Shakti. So that's the highest way you can use this life force, for knowledge. So we're also trying to do that now, because we're talking about the knowledge. And in the heart, this knowledge is also communicated to us from God inside our heart. Yeah, and we can get it from other people also. God is, acting through other people also. That's what we hear from the books, how it's working. So, because now he's saying, without your will, they cannot work. Material energy has no cognizance. Cognizance means cannot, see, cannot hear. The energy in itself doesn't have that. That's in the Atma, or the soul. It cannot act independently without being agitated by you, because the material nature is dependent upon you. The living entities can only attempt to act. But without your sanction and will, they cannot perform anything or achieve the results they desire. So Krishna is saying that in the Bhagavad Gita. Upadrashtanumantacha bharta bhokta maheshvara. He says, I am the permitter of actions. So it's explained that we have a desire, and then God is permitting our desire to be, happening. So for example, I want to move my foot to the left. God is giving permission, and then I can do that. Does it make sense? You became silent. Hello?
There's always a sort of a request and a permittance.
Exactly. But of course, it's not like we would think, that, for example, if you ask me if I can, Christopher is here, he's just radio silent. Nice.
Oh, yeah, I'm listening very intensely.
Because I was talking about Paramahamsa, he's like a silent witness. I was going to say that. So you're like that, just, you were like that. Yeah. So, okay, so now Vasudeva is continuing. He says, the original energy is only an emanation from you, my dear Lord. The shining of the moon, the heat of fire, the rays of the sun, the glittering of the stars, and the electric lightning. See, electricity was also, there, but not in the same shape as we maybe are used to now.
But it's Vasudeva speaking, not Vasudeva, right? It's Vasudeva.
Yeah, sorry, did I say Vasudeva with long A?
Yes, it's Vasudeva.
I should be censored. That's too bad. I can tell you, I've given a whole class just to drill this point, that people should say Vasudeva with long A and short when they talk about fun, and now I do the same mistake myself. How ironic. That's amazing. Okay, it's not amazing. For me, it's very probable. Okay, so anyway, my dear Lord, the shining of the moon, the heat of fire, the rays of the sun, the glittering of the stars, and the electric lightning, which are all manifested as very powerful, as well as the gravity of the mountains and the energy and fragments of the earth, are all different manifestations of you. The lightning, it's actually full of electricity. Right? I mean, sorry for giving a mundane example, but I saw this movie, Back to the Future. And there,
Yes.
he didn't have more plutonium left, or no more, so he needed to have, some really heavy energy, electric. But it wasn't available there in what year? 1955, So, but then he had, they already knew that the lightning was going to hit in this clock tower, right? So he just put the cable to the car. Some other car should touch at the same time the lightning energy was coming. So this proves that the electric energy is coming from lightning.
Yes, now I'm definitely convinced.
Very good. Okay, so and then the pure taste of water, the water itself and the vital force which maintains all life are also features of your lordship. So actually Krishna says that in the Gita. He says, I am the taste of water. Okay, so now I'll change my voice again. I forgot that, but I'll try and speak like Vasudeva. No, sorry, Vasudeva. Vasudeva. Okay. My dear Lord, although the forces of the senses, the mental power of thinking, willing and feeling, and the strength, movement and growth of the body appear to be performed by different movements of the airs within the body, they are all ultimately manifestations of your energy. The vast expanse of outer space rests in you. The vibration of the sky, its thunder, the supreme sound, Omkar, and the arrangement of different words to distinguish one thing from another are all symbolic representations of you. The senses, the controllers of the senses, the demigods, and the acquisition of knowledge, which is the purpose of the senses, as well as the subject matter of knowledge, all are you. The resolution of intelligence and the sharp memory of the living entity are also you. You are the egoistic principle of ignorance, which is the cause of this material world, the egoistic principle of passion, which is the cause of the senses, and the egoistic principle of goodness, which is the origin of the different controlling deities of this material world. The illusory energy, or Maya, which is the cause of the conditioned soul's perpetual transmigration from one form to another, is you. So Krishna is everywhere. Any comments?
It's amazing this, like try to actually, because the Bhagavatam is actually describing like how all the different things are part of his body, and it's like amazing to try and think about that.
Isn't it? There is no bar for being Krishna conscious. You don't need to have a deity or not. You can just see that Krishna is in every object. He's even the soul, he said. One place, he said that he's even the Atma. Yeah.
And I guess like the even more inconceivable thing is he's also independent. He's
exactly.
Also his own person.
Yeah, he's a Svarat. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, except for when he's with his parents.
Yeah, exactly. Very well said. Because he is voluntarily he makes himself dependent on his parents. Actually, he's dependent on all his dear devotees. He follows their beck and call, like that. Okay, so you like to read now, Daniel Prabhu?
Yes. Where are we?
My dear Supreme Personality of Godhead.
All right. My dear Supreme Personality of Godhead, is that where we are?
Yeah.
You are the original cause of all causes, exactly as the earth is the original cause of different kinds of trees, plants, and similar varieties of manifestation. As the earth is present in everything, so you are present throughout this material manifestation. As the Supersoul, you are the supreme cause of all causes, the eternal principle. Everything, in fact, is a manifestation of your one energy. The three qualities of material nature, Savata, Rajas, and Tamas, and the result of their interactions are linked up with you by your agency of Yoga Maya. They are supposed to be independent, but actually the total material energy rests upon you. The Supersoul, yes, the Supersoul. Since you are the supreme cause of everything, the interactions of the material manifestation, birth, growth, existence, transformation, deterioration, and annihilation are all absent in you, your supreme energy, Yoga Maya, is acting in variegated manifestations, but because Yoga Maya is your energy, you are therefore present in everything.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I will actually just fast forward a little bit, and I will go down here. Vasudeva is continuing his prayers, just a few paragraphs down. My dear Lord, Vasudeva continued, despite all these defects of the conditioned soul, if someone somehow or other comes in contact with devotional service, he achieves the civilized human form or body with developed consciousness and thereby becomes capable of executing further progress in devotional service. And yet, illusioned by the external energy, people generally do not utilize this advantage of the human form of life. Thus they miss the chance of eternal freedom and unnecessarily spoil the progress they have made after thousands of births. And then I scroll a little bit more down, and then he talks about his old predicament here. For a long time I have simply considered this body to be myself, and although you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I have considered you my son. My dear Lord, at the very moment when you first appeared in Kamsa's prison house, you informed me that you were the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that you had descended for the protection of the principles of religion as well as the destruction of the unfaithful. Although unborn, you descend in every millennium to execute your mission. My dear Lord, as in the sky there are many forms appearing and disappearing, you also appear in many eternal forms and then disappear. Who therefore can understand your pastimes or the mystery of your appearance and disappearance? Our only business should be to glorify your supreme greatness. When Vasudeva was... Yeah? What did you say?
Was that his conclusion?
Yeah, that was the conclusion.
Do other things than glorify his supreme greatness?
Yes, so if you wonder what job you should have, that's so you will be paid, by God directly if you do that job. Okay, so when Vasudeva was addressing his divine sons in that way, Lord Krishna and Balaram were smiling. Because they are very affectionate to their devotees, they accepted all the appreciation of Vasudeva with a kind, smiling attitude. Krishna then confirmed all of Vasudeva's statements as follows. So now Krishna is speaking. My dear father, whatever you may say, we are, after all, your sons. What you have said about us is certainly a highly philosophical understanding of spiritual knowledge. I accept it in toto, without exception. What does in toto mean?
In toto?
Yeah. Is it Latin or?
This meaning.
It's Latin, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Total.
Yeah. It means total.
Completely. That is Latin.
Yeah, it means completely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just scroll a little bit down, and now we're going to get to the point where they're going to ask Krishna if he can get their sons back, the dead sons. So let's see. So Krishna is remembering them. She was overwhelmed with grief. So Krishna and Balaram, they went to school, and they had a teacher, Sandipani Muni. And very custom is after you go to school, you don't pay a fee, but you just the teacher will ask for a favor, and then the disciple are just supposed to fulfill that. So, like for example, when Arjuna he finished his military school for Dronacharya, you know what Dronacharya asked of him? He said, "Please go and finish off my enemy." Yeah, something like that. He had an enemy. Okay, so anyway, but now. With Krishna Balaram, then Sandipani Muni asked for a favor that they could bring his dead son back to life. So they just went down to Yamaraj, he is in the netherworlds. By their mystic power, they just immediately went there, and they asked him, "Can you please, get back the dead son of Sandipani?" He said, "Yes, here he is." And then they just brought him back. So
just had him in his pocket.
Huh?
Just kidding.
Yeah, but it's a good question, because the whole world is in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that song.
So he has his whole world in his pockets. Yeah?
Is it from like a Bible worship, that song? Or where
Yeah, of course it is. It is a song about God. It's the Christians. The Christians are playing that song, in their meetings. Yeah, so Devakī, she was inspired by that. So she thought, why shouldn't, Lord Krishna do the same for me? So out of compassion for her dead sons, Devakī appealed to Lord Krishna and Balaram thus. So now I'll try and have the voice of Devakī. My dear Balaram, your very name suggests that you give all pleasure and all strength to everyone. Your unlimited potency is beyond the reach of our minds and words. And, my dear Krishna, you are the master of all mystic yogis. I know that you are the master of the Prajapatis like Brahma and his assistants, and you are the original personality of Godhead, Narayan. I also know for certain that you have descended to annihilate all kinds of miscreants who have been misled in the course of time. They have lost control over their minds and senses, have fallen from the quality of goodness, and have deliberately neglected the direction of the revealed scriptures by living a life of extravagance and impudence. You have descended on earth to minimize the burden of the world by killing such miscreant rulers. My dear Krishna, I know that Mahavishnu, who is lying in the causal ocean of the cosmic manifestation, who is the source of this whole creation, is simply an expansion of your plenary portion. The creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this cosmic manifestation are effected only by your plenary portion. I therefore take shelter of you without reservation. Okay, just a little break because we got a question here from Memes X Edits, who just appeared in the chat. Welcome, nice to have you here. I'll just answer you by speaking. I hope that's okay. So, how did you find Sanatana Dharma? I'd rather say that Sanatana Dharma found me, because I wasn't really looking for it, but I got to know a person who was in the Hare Krishna movement. He just told me everything I needed to know, and then I immediately started reading the books, and gradually I found out how this thing exists, Sanatana Dharma. So that was, now it's like 25 years ago. It was in 1997. Okay, so I'll read on. So Devakī is continued to speak. I have heard that when you wanted to reward your teacher Sandipani Muni, and he asked you to bring back his dead son, you and Balaram immediately brought him from the custody of Yamaraj. Although he had been dead for a very long time, by this act I understand you to be the supreme master of all mystic yogis. I therefore ask you to fulfill my desire in the same way. In other words, I am asking you to bring back all my sons who were killed by Kamsa. Upon bringing them back, my heart will be content, and it will be a great pleasure for me just to see them once. After hearing their mother speak in this way, Lord Balaram and Krishna immediately called for the assistance of Yogamaya and started for the lower planetary system known as Sutala. Formerly, in his incarnation of Vamana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead had been satisfied by the king of the demons, Bali Maharaj, who donated to him everything he had. Bali Maharaj was then given the whole of Sutala for his residence and kingdom. Now, when this great devotee Bali Maharaj saw that the Lord Balaram and Krishna had come to his planet, he immediately merged in an ocean of happiness. As soon as he saw Lord Krishna and Balaram in his presence, he and all his family members stood up from their seats and bowed down at the lotus feet of the Lords. Bali Maharaj offered Lord Krishna and Balaram the best seat he had in his possession, and when both lords were seated comfortably, he began to wash their lotus feet. So what you see here is Bali Maharaj, he knows Krishna from before, because Krishna incarnated as a dwarf. You know the story. He took over the whole world just by stepping. With dwarf steps, he just expanded himself and he stepped over the whole universe. Yeah.
But did Krishna reincarnate as a dwarf?
Yeah, he did. He incarnated as a dwarf one time, and he was like a monk. He came as a monk. So Bali Maharaj at that time, he was the king of the whole world, because he was leading the demonic party actually. So he said, okay, now you're coming in nice, monk. So what do you want? Can I give you some donation? And Vamanadev, he said, nah, I'm okay. I just ask for some donation, please. Okay, 3 steps of land. And Bali said, I'm the king of the whole world, and you only want to have 3 steps of land. What's this? And then, Vamanadev, the dwarf Brahman, he said, he gave a whole lecture that if you're a brahmachari monk, you shouldn't have desire for nothing. You should just desire for the very minimum. And I heard one great monk in our movement, he said that this is 3 steps of land is the space which you can roll out your sleeping bag, so that's the amount of space. So a monk should be satisfied with just having enough space to sleep. Yeah. So in that way one can be a monk forever. So that was kind of the conclusion of Vamanadev's lecture, that one should just be a monk, serving the Lord in this way. That's only possible if one is very humble and not greedy. But then anyway, Balaram said, okay, take your 3 steps. And then, Vamanadev, he just took 1 step, and then he already covered all the heavenly planets and everything. And then 2nd step, he crushed through the layers of the universe. And each universal layer is 10 times thicker than the previous one. And still, with his little foot, dwarf foot, he pierced through all of his layers. And with his little toe, he pierced through the end layer, and then the water from the spiritual world just came through, and got down, and that is the Ganges, celestial Ganges water. Yeah. So and then he said to Balaram, I just took 2 steps and you promised me 3, and now I don't have any more places left to step. You cheated me. And then Bala said, okay, there's 1 place left, and that's my forehead. Okay, so then Vamana, he just stepped on his head. So in that way, he surrendered his own self. That's the idea. So then, Vamana said, he said, there was a snake there, the Vasuki snake, great snake, who is a servant of Krishna, said, just bind him up. So this snake was just binding him completely. You can see the picture. And then, all the demons, they said, oh, you're a bad leader in the Bali, you were stupid, Bali said, no, just wait and see. I believe in God, And then Krishna said, you're my best devotee. You know what? I bound you up, but I'm going to skip you down to Sutala planet. But I will become your eternal, doorkeeper there. So Krishna made a specific incarnation as Vamana to just be there with Bala Maharaj down in this hellish underworld planet of Sutala, where all the demons are there. But still, he's standing there as a doorkeeper. Isn't that amazing?
That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's very sweet, So now when he's coming down, he was so happy to see him, because now he saw the Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna. Okay, we have one more question on the chat. Like something might have connected you. If you feel, please say the experiences and changes you had before and after. Yeah, I can say it shortly. I felt that God was speaking through that person who introduced me to Krishna. That was my feeling. I felt that God was directly speaking, and that I got His mercy through that person. And since that, my life always changed. I just jumped all over the books, started reading like anything, and I started going to the temple like anything. Yeah. So that moment changed everything. Yeah. Thank you so much. Any comments from the Zoom?
I think both of those stories were amazing.
Isn't it? Yeah. So no wonder that Balaram Maharaj is very happy to see them. He's washing their feet and he's drinking the foot wash afterwards. Mehmet's edits. No, I'm not staying in India. I'm staying in Norway, actually. To be honest with you, Norway is a more comfortable place for me than India. Okay. So then he sprinkled the water on his head and on the heads of his family members. The water used to wash the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and Balaram can purify even the greatest demigods, such as Lord Brahma. Now, listen to this. The worship was just beginning, you see. Balaram Maharaj, he brought valuable garments, ornaments, sandalwood pulp, betel nuts, lamps, and various nectarian foods, and along with his family members, he worshipped the lords according to the regulative principles and offered his riches and body unto their lotus feet. So, such a ceremony, if you want to really do the big ceremony, it takes over 1 hour, to do the whole big ceremony to receive a great person. So he probably did that. Because it's like sandalwood pulp. This pulp is from the sandalwood tree, and it's very cooling effect, and it's smeared on the body. Yep. And actually they do that to the deities in India. I was myself part of that. There is one time in the year, there is like a festival in India where you smear the body of Krishna whole body with sandalwood pulp. And that was in Mayapur, and the deity of Krishna is quite big. So we were like at least 50 people who were churning, this sandalwood pulp for many hours.
Has really nice smell or scent.
Yeah, scent, and it's also very cooling. Have you tried to have that on your forehead? It's really cooling. Actually, I could need that now because it's so warm. Yeah. So yeah.
I can tell by the feeling of it, by the smell and by how it is, that it's definitely cooling.
Yeah. So it's Krishna's plan to have that. It's part of his lila. It's one of his servants actually. Personified sandalwood pulp. And then there's another thing here. Is betel nuts. So this is like some kind of intoxicants actually.
Yeah.
And Krishna is eating that. But devotees are usually not.
No.
But they're serving it to Krishna deity in Vrindavan, for example. And then lamps and various nectarian foods. So mind you, the food is vegetarian. And along with his family members, he worshipped the Lord according to the regulatory principles. Yeah. So these regulations are called Pancharatra Vidhi. Yeah. So King Bali was feeling such transcendental pleasure that he repeatedly grasped the Lord's lotus feet and kept them on his chest. And sometimes he put them on the top of his head. You see, Krishna, he just allowed him to do that. Because, you see, Bali Maharaj, he gave his whole self to Krishna. And then, the Lord follows suit. He gives himself to Bali. Isn't that wonderful?
That's really sweet.
So Bali is just grasping the feet. He takes the feet of God, puts... And Krishna is not protesting, In this way he felt transcendental bliss. Tears of love and affection began to flow from his eyes, and all his bodily hairs stood on end. He began to offer praise to the Lord in a voice which choked up intermittently. What does intermittently mean? Every now and then, right?
No, it's like more rare. Like intermittent fasting means like I think you have a longer period where you don't do it. There's a period of
Very good, very nice. Thank you. Okay, so we get another question from the chat.
Question here.
Yeah, have you experienced every Indian festival, the diversity, or just you focus on Krishna Puja? Okay, I can just say honestly, I just focus on Krishna Puja. But I experienced a few festivals by the years, since I've been around for a few years. I sometimes was, joining some Durga Puja festival and stuff like that. But I really didn't experience all of it. For example, I never was to this Ganesh festival. Although it seems to be very fun. Yeah, okay, so anybody wants to read? Christopher, you like to read the choked up prayers?
Yeah. He's in complete ecstasy, this Bali.
Yeah.
My Lord Balaram, you're the original Ananta Deva. You're so great that Ananta Deva, Shesha, and other transcendental forms have originally emanated from you. And you, Lord Krishna, are the original personality of Godhead, with an internal form that is all blissful and full of complete knowledge. You are the creator of the whole world. You are the original initiator and propounder of the systems of Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. You are the supreme Brahma and the original personality of Godhead. I therefore, with all respect, offer my obeisances unto both of you. My dear lords, it is very difficult for the living entities to get to see you. Yet when you are merciful upon your devotees, you are easy for them to see. As such, out of your causeless mercy, you have agreed to come here and be visible to us, who are generally influenced by the quality of ignorance and passion.
Of course he wasn't, but he's just very humble.
Yeah.
Yeah, read on, yeah.
My dear Lord, we belong to the Daita, or demon category. The demons are demoniac persons, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, and the Vidyadharas, the Charanas, the Yakshas, the Rakshasas, the Pishachas, the ghosts, and the Ho-goblins are by nature incapable of worshipping you or becoming your devotees. Instead of becoming your devotees, they are simply impediments on the path of devotion. But you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, representing all the Vedas, and are situated in the mode of uncontaminated goodness. Your position is always transcendental. For this reason, some of us, although born of the modes of passion and ignorance, have taken shelter of your lotus feet and have become your devotees. some of us are actually pure devotees, and some of us have taken shelter of your lotus feet because we desire to gain something from devotion.
He's very honest. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, by your causeless mercy only are we demons in direct contact with your personality. This contact is not possible even for the great demigods. No one can know how you act through your yoga maya potency. Even demigods cannot calculate the expanse of the activities of your internal potencies. So how is it possible for us to know it? I therefore place my humble prayers before you, that please be kind to me, who am fully surrendered unto you, and favor me with your causeless mercy, so that I may simply remember your lotus feet birth after birth. My only ambition is that I may live along, just like the Paramahamsas, who travel alone here and there in great peace of mind, depending simply upon your lotus feet. I also desire that if I have to associate with anyone, I may associate only with your pure devotees and no one else. For your pure devotees are always well-wishers of all living entities.
Great. Okay, just finish. Yeah, you can read on.
My dear Lord, you are the Supreme Master and Director of the whole world. Please, therefore, engage me in your service and let me thus become free from all material contaminations. You can purify me in that way, because if someone engages himself in the loving service of your Lordship, he is immediately freed from all kinds of regulative principles enjoined in the Vedas.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Any comments or questions? So, yeah.
Is that how a pure devotee is praying, to the Lord?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like all the devotees are saying the same thing, that he's basically the world.
Yeah, they are definitely saying the same thing, but with some variation.
Yeah, there is a variation, yes.
Actually, if you look in the original Sanskrit, it may be quite, you can see advanced kind of prayers, actually, because they're using, it doesn't come out often in the English translations, because in the Sanskrit they are making some puns, on the different Sanskrit words, and they make kind of ornaments and stuff. So it's actually, they actually don't say the same thing. If you go into Sanskrit, you'll say it's, yeah.
Like just taking, say, 10 minutes to try and analyze a Sanskrit verse like this will blow your mind completely.
Yeah, so that's why it's advised, to, this is like only the entrance points.
Yeah.
This Krishnabook, and then we're advised to go into the Bhagavatam itself, because this is based on the 85th chapter of the Bhagavatam, and then you can look at verse by verse, and you will see it's very intricate and interesting. Would you like to read, Daniel, a little bit from the word Paramahamsa?
Yes, okay. The word Paramahamsa mentioned here means the supreme swan. It is said that the swan can draw milk from a mixture of milk and water. It can take only the milk portion and reject the watery portion. Similarly, a person who can draw out the spiritual portion from this material world and who can live alone, depending only on the Supreme Spirit, not on the material world, is called Paramahamsa. When one achieves the Paramahamsa platform, he is no longer under the regulative principles of the Vedic injections. A Paramahamsa accepts only the association of a pure devotee and rejects others who are too much materially addicted. In other words, those who are materially addicted cannot understand the value of Paramahamsa, but those who are fortunate, who are advanced in a spiritual sense, take shelter under the Paramahamsa and successfully complete the mission of human life.
Thank you. Okay. So now actually we're gonna have the final here now. After Lord Krishna heard the prayers of Balaram, he spoke as follows. My dear king of the demons, in the millennium of Swayambhuva Manu, the Prajapati known as Marichi begot 6 sons, all demigods, in the womb of his wife Urna. Once upon a time, Lord Brahma became captivated by the beauty of his daughter and was following her, impelled by sex desire. At that time, these 6 demigods looked at the action of Lord Brahma with abhorrence. Abhorrence means disgust, right? Something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's probably some more specific meaning.
Yeah, it always is. So this criticism of Brahma's action by the demigods constituted a great offense on their parts. You know, Brahma, he created Vakdevata, which is personified sound of the Vedas. And he became lusty after her, and then, you know, these demigods, they said, no, how can you be that? He just created her, right? And they laughed at him. And later on, you know,
It was like he was in love with a child or something.
But it's different, you know, because he's the first person in the universe. He just created the first woman. So it's not the same, you know. Okay. They're growing up immediately. You know, when a demigod is creating somebody, immediately they're grown up. You have the example, you know, when Vyasadeva was created. I told that story yesterday, right? Satyavati, the fisherwoman, and Parashara Muni.
Yes,
they created Vyasadeva on an island. That's why it's called Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasadeva, the island-born, you know, incarnation of Krishna. So immediately when he was born, he just walked off. It was the mother was just like Vyasadeva, hey. She just saw the
Shukadeva also just
she just saw the back of him. He just went straight for a renunciation. But actually, she sent a message to him. She said, you know, dear Vyasadeva, can you just do me one favor? That whenever I just need you, I really need you, then you should appear. And then Vyasadeva he just said, yes, okay. So later on, actually, she needed him because, you know the story, then they actually needed somebody to make some children. And then he just appeared, yeah. So they can continue the kingly, you know, lineage. Anyway, so where were we? So this criticism of Brahma's action by the demigods constituted a great offense on their part, and for this reason they were condemned to take birth as the sons of the demon Hiranyakashipu. So they were cursed right there to take birth as the sons of demons. Yeah. These sons of Hiranyakashipu were thereafter put into the womb of Mother Devakī, and as soon as they took their birth, Kamsa killed them one after another. You know the story. Okay, so Memes X edits are saying, just a suggestion, India is a very diverse. We worship every god in some regions. The god remains the same, just the avatar changes, like Krishna is avatar Vishnu. You should visit different states. I would like to do that. Please invite me. I can meet you there. All right? Okay, so then back to the story. And welcome to Viral Tuber. Namaste. And Manu Dama also. Nice to have you here. Yeah. So all suggestions are welcome, but I cannot promise. I'll do my best. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so they, you know, Mother Devakī, she gave, she got, you know, because Kamsa, he had heard a message from the sky that the 8th son will be your killer. Yeah. And so, but you know, Kamsa, he thought, you know, okay, maybe some of the other sons also can kill me, so he just killed all of them.
Yeah, he was going to kill Devakī immediately after.
Yeah, he was very cruel, but actually it was all planned from before, so that these sons, you know, original demigods, they should immediately come back to the heavenly planets. Yeah. So anyway, but Devakī, she didn't know that, so she was very anxious how it was going. But Krishna is now explaining everything.
Oh.
Okay, Memes X edits, he says you are always invited. Thank you so much. I will definitely go to India this year. I try and go every December to meet up with my god siblings for my Gurudev's Vyasa Puja. I go to Dwarka. That's in Gujarat. Of course you know that. Okay, so where are we? So Mother Devakī is very anxious to see these 6 dead sons again, and she is very much aggrieved on account of their early death at the hand of Kamsa. I know that all of them are living with you. I have decided to take them with me to pacify my mother Devakī. After seeing my mother, all 6 of these conditioned souls will be liberated, and thus in great pleasure they will be transferred to their original planet. The names of these 6 conditioned souls are as follows: Smara, Udgita, Parishvanga, Patanga, Kshudrabrit, and Grini. They will be reinstated in their former positions as demigods. Okay, so Manu Dharma is asking, according to you, who is greater, Krishna or Ram? Actually, to be honest with you, this is my understanding. Both are similar in greatness. Sorry, this is my understanding. Other people can have other opinion, but you also according to me. So according to me, both Krishna and Rama are the same in the greatness. Okay, so now, after thus informing the king of the demons, Krishna stopped speaking, and Balaram understood the Lord's purpose. He duly worshipped the Lord, and thereafter Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram took away the 6 conditioned souls and returned to the city of Dwarka. Lord Krishna presented them as little babies before his mother Devakī. So did you catch that little detail? You see, immediately when Krishna and Balaram arrived, he was worshipping them, right? He was washing their feet, giving gifts, everything. Now Krishna was speaking, and then he said, okay, we'll pack up. And then again, Balaram was worshipping them. So he worshipped them 2 times.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah?
It's paying respect when you see them and when you're leaving them.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be like that. Like when we enter the temple, you're supposed to bow down and say some prayers. And then when we leave the temple, we also bow down and say prayers. Okay, so where are we now? Yeah, so now you know, yeah.
He presented them...
Yeah, so Lord Krishna presented them as little babies before his mother Devakī. So you will see on our thumbnail for this video, you will see actually a very nice picture where Devakī is very happy with her 6 sons. So so Mother Devakī was overwhelmed with joy, and she was so ecstatic and motherly feeling that milk immediately began to flow from her breasts, and she fed the babies with great satisfaction. She took them on her lap again and again, smelling their heads and thinking, "I've gotten my lost children back." For the time being, she was overpowered by the energy of Vishnu, and in great motherly affection she enjoyed the company of her lost children. The milk from the breasts of Devakī was transcendental nectar, because the same milk has been sucked by Lord Krishna. As such, the babies who sucked the breasts of Devakī ji, which had touched the body, is charming. Yes? Suddenly Prabhupada is writing Devakī ji. Because we say not Mata, we say Mata ji actually. You know, this G, it means dear. It means dear mother. Yep. Yeah. Dear Mata, Mata G. So in the same way, I can say, Daniel G and Christopher G. So Devakī Ji, which had touched the body of Lord Krishna, immediately became self-realized persons. The babies therefore began to offer their obeisances unto Lord Krishna, Balaram, their father Vasudeva, and their mother Devakī. After this, they were immediately transferred to their respective heavenly planets. After they departed, Devakī was stunned.
With wonder.
Oh, okay. So Wild Tuber is saying here, G is just a sign of respect. You're correct. It's actually a sign of respect. Yeah. It's actually more than just dear. It actually means you're really respecting the person. Yeah. Okay. So, but actually, they used to call Prabhupada for Swamiji. But after some time, Prabhupada asked them, please, it's not that respectful. I mean, it's respectful, but high respect is to call him like a title like Prabhupada. So in that way, after that, they stopped calling Prabhupada Swamiji and they called him Prabhupada.
It's a prince, lotus feet of the prince, doesn't it, or something like that?
Well, it's a lotus feet which all other lotus feet are paying respect to.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's higher than just G, but G is definitely respectful. So it's a matter of level. You can start with G and then you can go higher, like that. Sometimes they call a person for Shriman or Shri, like that. That's the same as Sir,
I thought it was Lakshmi, actually, feminine. Shri.
You can say Shri Krishna,
Yeah.
Well, actually, you're true. It is a name of Lakshmi. But... it means that, it's fortune. It means fortune, okay? So it means the fortunate person. So I can say Shri Christopher. That means the fortunate Christopher. Yep.
So it is like having Lakshmi with you when you...
Yeah. It means that you are blessed by Lakshmi. You know,
Exactly.
that means it's going good in your life. You are fortunate. You know, stuff like that.
That's really wonderful. Actually.
Yeah. So so let's see how did it go. So after they departed, Devakī was stunned with wonder that her dead children had come back and had again been transferred to their respective planets. She could adjust the events only by thinking that Lord Krishna can perform anything wonderful in his pastimes, because his potencies are all inconceivable. Without accepting the inconceivable and limited potencies of the Lord, one cannot understand that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Soul. By his unlimited potencies, he performs unlimited pastimes, and no one can describe them in full, nor can anyone know them all. Sutta Goswami, speaking Srimad Bhagavatam before the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shanak Rishi, gave his verdict in this connection as follows. So now we're gradually rounding off. Now the sage is going to give their verdict.
Sutta Goswami.
Actually, now we're back in Naimisharanya. Yeah. So he's speaking. It's like several layers. So now he's speaking like outside the whole thing. Yeah. So now I'll try and mimic his voice. I'll try and sound sagacious. Yeah. Great sages, please understand that the transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna are all eternal. They are not ordinary narrations of historical incidents. Such narrations are identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Anyone, therefore, who hears such narrations of the Lord's pastimes is immediately freed from the contamination of material existence. And those who are pure devotees enjoy these narrations as nectar entering into their ears. So Memes X edits, he says in the chat, Dwarka is the place where Lord Krishna settled. That's the last stop. Should visit all the places starting from Mathura. You should see the journey, different temples, different ways of worshipping. I agree. Yes. And then Manu Dama, he tells me, sir, you should be a voice artist. Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, I'm improving, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so
there's also some words by Sutta Goswami.
Yeah, it's Sutta Goswami. Yeah, he's a great speaker.
Such narrations were spoken by Shukadeva Goswami, the exalted son of Vyasadeva, and anyone who hears them, as well as anyone who repeats them for the hearing of others, become Krishna conscious, and only the Krishna conscious person are eligible to go back home, back to God.
Thus
ends the Bhagavatam purport of the 85th chapter of Krishna, this spiritual instruction for Vasudeva, and the return of the 6 dead sons of Devakī by Lord Krishna.
Thank you so much. Very nice. So, any comments or questions, both from the chat and from Zoom?
Yes, actually, because I was thinking this exact exchange between Devakī and her dead children, it reminded me of actually a movie from about, I think 2006 or 2007. It's called Artificial Intelligence, but it's the other way around, because it's actually the child who's he's a robot, but he somehow ends up, separated from his mother, who, he wanted to go back to his mother, but it had gone so many years, she wasn't alive or existing even then. But he was a robot who was, hankering after seeing his mother again. And it was a very similar feeling to this pastime that Devakī was, very, very affectionate with the lost children, right?
Yeah. This affection is the highest, form of love you can have in the material world. It's the affection between, the mother and the child. Yeah. Manu Dama is saying, Chaitanya Sharma was not able to join today. He has sent you his good wishes. Thank you so much, Manu Dama. I highly appreciate. Please give him my props. Best greetings to him. And looking forward to see him next time. So I guess we round off. Because now the clock is exactly 21:08. So that means 2:108. It's very auspicious time, right? So we see you tomorrow, same time. I'll try 8 o'clock every day now.
Alright, sounds good.
Thank you so much. And Daniel also. Thanks. Yeah?
Well, have you gone off the stream now?
No, I will go off and we can talk after the stream. Yeah?